Women of Rubies present her Success Story series. Her Success Story series is a platform dedicated to celebrating exceptional women who are making a meaningful impact in their fields and communities. The series is all about showing women that it is possible through the real, raw, and powerful journeys of women. Sit back, relax, and welcome to her Success Story series. Yes. Welcome to her Success Story series. It's a pleasure to be here. This is our first episode in 2025. Yay. All right. Thank you so much. It's been a long time coming. A lot of back end work putting into this to make it come alive. We're super excited that we are finally here today. So if you're listening to me right now, you're watching me wherever you're watching from, whether that is on Facebook or on Instagram or on YouTube, please represent yourself and your city in the comment section. Let us know that you are there and you're representing your city or your country, your location, whatever it is. Let me know in the comments section. I would love to see it. I'm trying to see what's going on in the comment section. So yeah, bear with me. Awesome. I see our people here. They're already live. Yay. Justina Abiodun says, we are live. Kindly join, Queen. Okay. Justina is helping us do the announcement, echoing our words to say, ladies, hey, queens, we are live. So if you know any queen in the collective, outside of the collective, in the bigger community of the Women of Rubies, go and tell them that her success story is live. And we're here to have a conversation to continue to go on that journey that you believe firmly that will lead, to impact, which automatically leads to success as well. So I see you, Grace. Thank you so much. Glad to have you here. Yes, absolutely. Thank you for the mention. I salute. Awesome. Thank you, Grace. Please let me know where you're connecting from. What's your location? Let us know that so that we can know that we are globe. We know. Actually, we don't need any confirmation, but we just love to affirm it that we are a global community. All right. So if you see me looking down again, I just want to monitor on Instagram, because on Instagram we are unable to see the comments if they are coming into the studio. So I'll be able to monitor it from Instagram directly to see where we are at. So I'm just going to take a second to do that. Yes, so that I can monitor and follow up with what you're commenting in the comment section. Okay, yes, you see, I see my people there on Instagram as well. Fantastic. I see you, Dara. Dara is from Umahia, Abia State. Thank you for joining us. Justina is from Majuguri. Wow. Who else is there? Please represent your city. I am representing Dubai, UAE. Where are you representing? Grace is connecting from Port Harcourt. Awesome, fantastic. We are glad to have you from all over the world, from all over the continent. Ibadan, Rosalind is representing from Ibadan or your state. I love it. You Ibadan. Love it. We have somebody from Lagos, Gafi. Is that Coffee Gold? Thank you for joining us. Abdulrazak is joining from Ilorin, Kwara, Ogun State, Finyidenike. Wow. All right. Thank you so much for representing. Now, I love the energy that we're starting with. Let us keep this energy all through the conversation today. All right. And let's keep the energy going by dropping your comments. If you have questions for our guest today, you can also drop that in the comment section. All right. So if you're ready to, speak with our guest, to meet our guest, of course, you know her. She's the Queen Mother herself, the one and only, the mind, the brain, the heart behind the Women of Rubies Incorporation, which the success story is a part of. And we're so glad to have our guest in the house today. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about her, and I'll bring her on, and then we get right into the conversation. Today we're hosting the beautiful, gorgeous Queen Mother Esther Ijewere, who is a Nigerian social activist, author, columnist, media strategist, and advocate for women and youth empowerment. She's best known for her impactful work in gender advocacy and social change, especially through our initiatives that amplify the voices of women and address pressing societal issues. She's the founder of Women of Rubies. She's a columnist and writer. She's an author. She's an advocate. And of course, she's a public speaker as well as a media personality, and she focuses more on media visibility, like stop winking in the dark. And these are some of the things that we're going to be talking about in this conversation today. And just like I just said, she's very passionate about helping women use their voice, which is another reason why her success story is, because what essentially a success story is to do is to amplify women, shine the torchlight or shine the spotlight on women across the globe who are doing amazing things in their field. So we are super excited to be hosting Lady Esther today. So without further ado, I'm going to bring her up and then we'll kick off this conversation. Hello, Lady Esther. How are you today?
I am good.
Love it. Love it.
I'm doing great. How are you too?
I am awesome. By the way, I'll start by saying happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Esther. Happy birthday to you. How are you feeling being a year older?
Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, we are in the fourth floor together. But nobody informed me about the hormonal changes. Like,
Tell me about it.
and of course, there is the audacity that comes to being 40. Yes, there is an audacity that comes
Absolutely.
with it. Yeah, whatever it is you've sort of like not want to address before, you like want to stand 10 toes, but in a more matured way. Like there is just
Right.
this horror. Someone was saying that I've been so excited since I turned 40. And I said, yes, because it's almost like there is this new
It's a
vibe.
thing.
It's a thing that just comes to you being 40. And believe me, this 41, I'm like, girl, we're going to rock it hard because
Absolutely.
we are
Absolutely.
here for the soft life. And we're here to let people know that, listen, we have lived that life. 3 decades plus 10 more. It's no
Hmm.
joke. It's no joke. So if
Not
anyone is
at all.
saying, what's the big deal in being 40? There's a lot of big deal in being 40.
Ha.
You walk the surface of the earth for 40 years.
No beans, man.
So I mean, I would say I feel good. And the audacity that comes with it, I love it. I love the awareness of maturity too. Like you want to do
Yes.
something, and then you're like, oh, I'm now 40. Oh, I can't post this kind of thing. Because they will say I'm that. Oh, you want to comment sometimes too. Even now you might comment, I'm like, okay, girl, you gotta word this thing in a way that shows that you love the Gen Z, but you're not a Gen Z.
Anymore.
But thank you for asking.
Well, me, I'm forever young, oh, so it don't matter. We are, I feel like the general saying
Mm,
that life begins at 40 is
mhm.
also, it has a thing to play in the whole thing.
Yeah,
It's two statements that, if you lean into one or the other, it changes the
mhm.
game for you.
I
One
agree.
is life begins at 40. The
Mm,
other is a fool at 40 is a fool forever. So it
mm,
depends on which one you want to lean into. I
mm,
rather lean into life begins at 40, which means I'm
mhm,
1 year old. Like I just
mm,
turned a year old. In this new era, I am 1 year old. So I'm a baby. Baby
mhm,
girl lifestyle. Do you understand? Just that a baby that has lived before. So a baby with
mhm.
sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. And like I said, I also think because a lot of us live through so many things in the world,
Mm,
things that some of the Gen Zs don't know. But I don't know. Someone was mentioned online today. I can't remember the person's name, but the person is from like back from our own time. And I could see in the comment, yeah, it's Denrele. And somebody said, no Denrele slander will be accepted. I'm like, yes. Like, please don't go there. Do not go there.
now you're
This
mates.
Maybe you started using the internet 10 years ago. Like this person started from Kiddies Vision 101 in the
101,
90s.
man.
So if you don't know what that is, don't speak on that person.
Man, he's come a
And
long way, man.
yes, I
Yeah,
agree with you. So
yeah,
I kind of like love that sort of like audacity that comes with it. I love the fact that we are living intentionally,
yeah.
and above all, there's also the parenting side. You just knowing that, oh my God, even in my 40 years, I'm also nurturing somebody who will
Absolutely.
be a legacy. So yeah, it's good.
Absolutely. Love it. Love it. I mean, we could talk forever about, turning 40. And again, for me as a coach, it's an area that I'm quite interested in. And there's a lot opening up, a lot of knowledge, a lot of realization. Like you just mentioned the hormone part, it's almost like they didn't prepare us for it. When you were thinking about, okay, all the hormonal changes, I was thinking like at least another 10 years. But right now in this dispensation, it's coming earlier than
Yeah.
usual, and it's something
So
that we need to think about, we need to pay attention to, and things like that. But that's amazing. But I'm really grateful to God for your life. In fact, for you specifically, is that the four decades, has been very impactful, if I do say so myself, to say that at least half of those 4 decades have been dedicated to helping other people,
yeah.
to helping other people break their silence, to
Mm-hmm.
giving other people platforms to speak, platforms to grow,
Mm-hmm.
platforms to be visible. And I just really want to commend that, for that work, if despite all the basbos that life has thrown your way,
I like
um,
how you put that.
and even finding your way through life and all of that. So
Yeah.
well done and congratulations to you for
Thank you.
making it this far and not just counting the numbers, but making the numbers
Mm.
count. So yeah,
Whoa,
congratulations.
that's a deep one. Not just counting the numbers, but making the numbers count.
Absolutely.
Never heard it that way before. Thank you for sharing. That's deep.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. You
Yeah.
deserve it, sis. Okay, so her success story. Hey. And, I mean, you are somebody who is out there.
Mm.
Um, there are people who could easily say, I know her now. Esther. Guess what? I think, what did I post about? Maybe it was your birthday.
Yeah.
No. It was this poster. It was the poster of this event
Yeah.
that I posted on my WhatsApp status. And
Oh, okay.
somebody came like, Esther. I said, it's like, yeah, I know her. You know her too. And he was like, yeah, we went to uni together. I said, also, say, yeah. I said, I will go back. We went to secondary school together. I said, what?
Like, like there are tears to this knowing in life. There are
He
tears
was
to
like,
this
wait,
knowing in
what?
life.
I
There are
know,
tears to
small
it.
world. Absolutely. And for me, I'm like, you're somebody who's lived. It's funny. I'll say the ways in my head.
Yeah.
You're somebody who has lived out there. Like
Mm-hmm.
literally, some people can just, even if they've not met you before, they can easily
Yeah.
say, I know Esther now. Esther Ijewere. I know her now. She not this, she
Mm-hmm.
not that, she not this, she did it, she did it. Because you have, in a way successfully curated, you
Mm-hmm.
know, s- a message around your name, a perception around you that even
Mm-hmm.
people who haven't met you before can say, "Oh my God, I know Esther." And if
Yeah.
you walk into a room now, like, "Oh my God, Esther, it's good to finally meet you." In that regard, it's easy to say you are already successful.
Mhm. Thank you.
Why do we need to hear your story again if we know like 70% of it? And for
Mhm.
me, you know why I'm saying this?
Yeah.
Because you've done it so well that you are out there, but you're also not out there.
You
Because
did.
there are things about you that nobody, except the people behind the scenes, they will
Listen,
know.
this is the reason
Like
why
we
you
all
don't
know, it's
know.
general knowledge that Esther is a mother of two baby girl. Well, where the baby girls go, how they look, nobody knows. You see how like it's crazy. How
Idiot back. Girls,
like
listen, women, if you're on this line, let me tell you something before she goes on, Keep your day one. Keep your day one. Keep your friends as you're journeying through life.
mm,
Keep the
mm,
people who knew you or who know you now before those who are going to know you in the future. You know why? because of moments like this, you can see how we're just thinking in, because this is someone that I grew up with. Like, she knew me from the early stages, like that Esther before people. So if you see me smiling, it's because there are things she's saying that it's bringing me some memories of when we used to just walk one street to the other, come home from school.
I still remember that your army trouser. Now your army combat.
Oh my God. Go to a house and see. Another thing is, EJ's parents, I know this today is a success story, but EJ's parents' kindness towards me is also one of the reasons why I'm still connected to her. I don't forget people's kindness. I don't. No matter how small it is, my CPU programs kindness in high capacity. That's it. So if your parents ever gave me food, they ever gave me water when I was thirsty, I came to your home, they were nice to me, I keep it. And it's a story that I've told her before. As a matter of fact, there was a time I was talking, I said, do you remember your daddy? The smell of the food our mom prepares. I don't know if at the time, I didn't know what edikaiko or afang soup or whatever it was, one of those Nigerian delicacies. But I remember the smell. Do you understand? Like if you sit down, then you remember somebody, you can pick something from the past to say, man, when we sit for them EJ house, the moment you sit down, mommy is cooking something in the kitchen. Do you guys want anything? Then there is the Nigerian meal, that's the eba, the yellow one, and it comes out with the soup. And look at children that they have to go to school. They eat. We sit down and we eat, and our dad would come and tell us stories as well, right, about his work. And it's just me passing a message to all of us who are parents right now. When other people come to your home, please be kind to them, because your kindness might be the thing that would make that person be kind to your children in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So this is my story, and the way that I ask of her mom all the time. She doesn't understand. Why? I'm always asking, how is mommy? How is mommy? It's because of that. And that is part of the success story too. Because when you share stories like this, it's to say, I am not just a person that fell from heaven. I have people, I walk through life, I've lived a particular life, and I am here because, God has brought me to this moment. And I am so happy that EJ is here. So when I tell you, keep your day one, keep your day one. Keep your day one.
It's just honestly, like as you are speaking, like memories are just coming. If we continue that memory lane, we will not leave here today.
It's a good one. I mean, considering the subject of our conversation today, I love when we can share without just the part of us that the world wants to hear.
Does not know. I know.
Yeah, like the part that makes them realize you're human. You had moments where you were in people's homes, where you did all those secondary school things. So because when people see people out there in the public, they're like, maybe these people don't, maybe they don't. Yeah, listen, there is no OG. There is no OG without a story.
Absolutely. Wow. Great memories, even with the oh gosh, I don't even want to go there because no, we've truly come a long way, because even the secondary school shenanigans and all the clicks here and there, the words, this one talk, say this one, say that one, say, oh my God.
All the slum book. You want to see what someone wrote about you in the slum book?
Oh my
and I was
God.
telling someone about my slum book thing the other day. I just realized that when I was in secondary school, and also this is part of success story too. One of those things that we filled back then, I don't know where Ontario came from, but that thing just came to me that I had filled Ontario. We'll say location where you want to live in the future. Name your best friend, name this, name that. And I remember that I mentioned Ontario. Is it how it was Bukola that has owned, or one of those people in secondary school? But vividly, I know that I had written Ontario. Guess what? That memory did not come to me until recently. I think it was in December. I don't know what I was thinking. It was just me being in my me-time moment, just,
reflection.
Wait a minute. I actually manifested something I wrote.
My God.
school, and God had to take me through a lot of journey before I came here.
Yes, yeah.
Like, God, why didn't you just transport me from Cotton to Ontario?
I mean, if you had done that, we probably wouldn't have this version of Esther today. This
That's true.
wise,
Yeah,
comported,
yeah,
charismatic, very,
yeah.
very, in a way, diplomatic. I read your content sometimes, and I'm like, where does this woman get all this time to
You are the
analyze
fourth person
things
that is
like
telling
this?
me this. You are the fourth person telling me this. I was on the phone with someone else here in Canada too, or like for my friend too, about almost 12 a.m. yesterday. And that was the center of our conversation. That Esther, sometimes I just wake up in the morning, and when I see your post, my day is made. And I say to
Hmm,
myself, this girl does not even realize there are millions of people she's inspiring just by
absolutely.
weaving these words together, being vulnerable and letting people see the human side of her. And I said, and she asked me the same thing, like, wait, Esther, do you read something? Or do you read into the future? And I said, what makes my success story isn't just the part of it that is sweet. It is a side of
Hmm,
it that isn't so sweet. And the wisdom that I got from that, the wisdom that has come with who I am today, is the reflection you see online. I said, that's it. So sometimes when I'm posting, I'm actually speaking to myself. I remember
hmm.
when I posted about, I can't remember who, I think Kerry Ilsen. And it's also something a lot of us can learn from. You got to be
Right.
careful. You got to be careful in life. As you're climbing your ladder of success, people are watching. Make sure that you're not fighting battles that will not make people want to support you. So
Hmm.
those posts, EJ, is also part of why we're here today. I have grown through the years. If you go back 10 years ago, I didn't used to post like that. If you go back to when I
True.
started Facebook, that wasn't me. And I love the growth. Because I used to do some memories 13 years ago, 10 years ago, like, I used to type yo as you are. Really?
Using the slang of the time.
So yeah, it's part of the growth, and I love it. I love when I can share. I love when I share things even about celebrities, and they kind of like reach out to me privately, like, thank you.
Hmm,
You use my photo on Facebook. We've never met, but someone sent this screenshot to me, and I just want to say thank you so much. And that
hmm.
gives me joy because it's not just about me. It's also letting people see the human side of us, people like us who are out there. Like, we are human.
Right, right. Right, absolutely. And it's beautiful because when we read through your write-ups now, it's
Mhm.
almost like there's that balanced view that
Mm,
comes with what you write. So
yeah,
there's always a balance where you go here and there and then come to your own conclusion. And for me, I just read your stuff now, like, wow, this woman has truly grown over the years to say, okay, this is not just somebody speaking out of. And for me, even the way you analyze things is just the one that gets to me. For example,
thank you.
just picking up a movie, for example, and saying this and
Aw.
this. I'm like, Shay, is it not the same movie that we watched? Like,
Let me burst your bubble. There was a time I did a review of Davido's song, 1 Milli. I used to write for what's that platform called? There's a platform. It's not Opera News. I was one of their contributors when it came to Nigeria, right? And it was part of the task, like, who can run with this? And I'm like, yo, bring it up. And you know what I did? I sat with that music video with Chioma. I watched it more than 15 times.
hmm,
For I would pause, I would write, I would pause, I would write. And when I wrote that article, I picked every element. People were shocked. I mean, I had people who are like, folks who are not even Christians, sort of like, girl, how did you know that? And I said, research. The problem is a lot of us don't even know how to use Google. We just think Google
hmm,
is just how when I see something, I want to back up my facts. So when I wrote that article, for example, I broke it down. When I saw comments, I think it was when I realized, like, Esther, you really watch this video a lot. Like, and you picked up until the food the women ate, the
hmm,
way they sat, the clothing. So people watched it as a video. I saw a message.
hmm.
And the message now is also manifesting in a new album. So my friend nudged me and said, Esther, you wrote this few years ago. Now I understand. And I said, yes,
Mm,
because every artist, I'm a creative myself. We try
right.
to put something through the things we do. It
Yes.
takes those who are discerning. It
To
takes those
know,
who can
to
see
decode.
and filter that we're trying to pass a message. Sometimes you can post something and people will think it's just a post. No, there might be something embedded in that post
Encrypted messages.
person, and you know that person is going to get it. So for me, for example, that music video was a huge message about peace, for example, and I loved it. And I am sure that even the artist himself, if he had read that post, he would have wondered if I wrote the script with the with the director.
Wow.
So it's
Wow.
just me. It's a part of me that I love. The part that
Mm,
really I'm really into people's work. I love people genuinely. Like when I really want to talk about your work, I want to do it from a place of humanity. I also don't want to follow
mm,
the path of judging people because I have lived the life of being judged too. And I know how
mm,
it feels when your voice is not heard. I know how it
right.
feels when you can't come outside and start explaining to people, and then you just have that burning desire, like, I wish someone can just speak for me. Someone can
Mm,
just explain this for me. So when I see that in people, I try to put it in, and that's the balance you talk about. Meaning I can
right.
speak to the direction, speak to that direction. I'm not gonna judge anybody, but I'm just gonna say, listen,
State the
at the end of
facts.
the day, we are all humans. We can all
Mm,
judge and type whatever we want, but we are not those people. So remember that one day it might be you in their shoes. And when you go hard on them, people are going to pull up exactly what you wrote and use that to judge you. So it's not like someone,
right.
yeah. And that's the way the
Right.
internet is now. People are
Absolutely.
putting up things now. Like whatever story you want to put out there about yourself, please be cognizant of one thing. You don't know where you're going in life. Someone is going to
Mm,
pull that, someone is going to
right.
pull it up and they're
Mm.
going to use it either for good, for
Or
bad,
for bad.
or like Esther to write a post.
So would you say you've always been like that, or was there a point where the switch came?
um, I think I have always had that in me,
Hmm.
but maybe there was fear of what would people say. Maybe there was also that part of me that was fighting between the public persona and
Hmm.
me just being me, you know. And
Mm.
it was the moment I actually broke myself free from that cage of what would people think, that I started manifesting in my thoughts. I
Oh
mean,
wow.
I have written the thing I wrote about Drake and Kendrick Lamar.
Mm.
That thing went all over the world. When I say all over the world, I have people in my comment from the Bahamas, from Barbados, people sharing thoughts with me, and that
Mm.
I feel it's just the fear at the beginning, the fear in my
Right.
20s. And you also
Right.
know the thing about purpose. Sometimes your purpose will confuse you. As a matter of fact, if your purpose does not
Expatiate that.
confuse you, yeah. So if your purpose doesn't confuse you, it is actually not a purpose. You need to be scared of your purpose at some point. Yes.
Mm.
It
Mm.
has to scare you to a point where you're doubting yourself, like, can I pull this off? Can I really do this? And if you stay too long in the can I, should I, would I, time would go by. If you
Mm.
jump out of it immediately and say, you know what, I don't care. Let me test run. Let me see how it goes. If I fail, I fail. If I succeed, I succeed. At the end of the day, I still have life. I can still try again. So
Right.
I had to walk through that, that season of my life where I'm like, how do I define this purpose? How
Mm.
do I position myself? Yes, in a way that people will see there's a thought leader in this person. There is also the
Right.
women advocate in this person. And there is a journalist in this person as well. Because some of us, like you, my sister, when we are multi-talented, it's a little bit confusing. So the
Yes.
moment you can bring it down to a niche, the moment you can create an intersection, which is what I have done now, so it took a while for me to create an intersection to
Mm.
say I can be this and that
And
without
that.
anything suffering. So I can be a media advocate without just saying I'm an advocate. It means you can
Right.
in the media spotlighting women. In the same vein, you would also see me advocating for women who are experiencing gender-based violence. So why can't both run together? Why should one have to kill one vision for another? So that moment of confusion, I love it. So I've always been this person. I mean, you know me from secondary school, right? I've always been the outspoken person, but
Right.
life sometimes happens, and then there are moments in life that would also silence you.
Yeah.
Either
I know.
lived experience that would want you to doubt your own capabilities. Is
Mm.
something that you had to go through that will make you pause, just make you pause for a
To,
moment.
to deal with that first before
Deal
going
with
on.
that
Yeah.
first before, you know. So when people say, Esther, when did you become this? I'm like, I've always been this.
I
I
love it.
just did not have the courage enough to say,
To
listen,
express it.
this is who I am. Listen, I want to speak on certain things. I have a voice and I'm going to use it, you know. So these days when I want to talk, this thing about online, people say you are doing too much. That's another problem. The people who tell you that you are doing too much, they are actually doing too much on the low key and winning.
Hmm.
But because you have the courage to do yours in an open way,
In the open.
yeah, they're going to talk you out of it. And then if you're not mindful and self-aware, you would fold. You're going to let people
Hmm.
make you fold. You would
At
fold.
their own complaint. Meanwhile, they are also just doing their own thing and going, but they are pulling.
Believe
Oh
me,
my God.
believe
Love it.
me. I mean, I had people when I started as an advocate, as social activist. Oh, Esther, oh, this thing you're doing about rape is too much. Just pipe it down, tone it down, stop doing it. Yada yada yada, girl.
Hmm.
They're doing it now.
Look at that. Look at that.
They are doing it now, and they are doing it even at a capacity that I couldn't do it because I didn't have access to the resources and tools back in the day. Now they
Right.
have access to those resources and tools, and that is another thing. Don't let nobody kill your dream,
Hmm.
because the season when they kill your dream, they might pick up that vision in another season and they will do it better than you. And you guess what?
Right.
Nobody's going to ask you if you knew them or if you know them in the present. So when I see some of those people now trying to do the same thing, I'm like, listen, don't you dare let nobody talk you out of your dream, because you are a pace setter, but there are people in the world who are going to make you feel irrelevant with your gift.
Hmm.
Yes, there are people who have mastered how to make other people feel irrelevant with their
Yeah.
gifts.
I agree. I
Yes,
agree.
they would say things to you, they would react to you in a certain way, and you start asking yourself, am I all that? You are all that.
Hmm.
All that. So I would say for me is just recognizing that I have a voice
Right.
and I will not let anybody shut down my voice. I will
My
do what I
voice.
gotta do because we have one life, EJ. And
Absolutely.
I think it's just 5 years ago that I started saying that to myself, like, wait, oh, it's just this one life we have. Oh. No
No,
du-
no, no replacement, oh, no duplicates.
and we
No
cannot live
spare.
it in a way that our names isn't just the result or the news to what we do on Google, but
Mm.
a bragging right for our children. Because you cannot
Right.
live like, and your child is asking you, so what did you do with your life for 20, 30 years? I'm 40 now. So what were you doing all the while? We don't we don't want to do that, right? And we're giving birth to children who are Gen Zs. They are in the computer age. So we've got to make sure that whatever gifts God has deposited in us, please don't let fear hold you back. I am shocked
We're
that there are
writing it
people
down.
who judge what I started back in the days. And now they're doing it because there is better internet. Don't forget that. There is also social media visibility for
Mm.
everybody now.
Mm.
Don't forget, EJ, 10, 15 years ago, there was nothing like hashtags. So
Right.
now the hashtags you used 10 years ago that nobody saw, someone else will use that hashtag today and they're going to,
Today, and it might, yeah. Mm. Wow.
yep,
That's
yep,
that's
yep.
that
Think
that's
about it.
something.
Think about
Right.
it. If you were
Right.
posting motivation hashtag 10 years ago, the algorithm probably didn't pick you up because, but now with the way things are moving in the world, someone goes online and they say hashtag motivation, it's going to pop up with the name of a person who is in the present, who posted something consistent or something that, you know, people can resonate with. So
if you had stayed consistent since then, it's like it continues your work.
It becomes a part of you, and it becomes a part of the algorithm. So, and that's life too. You got to master how to just say, this thing that I have, it is going to be my story in 10 years, and I'm going to stay with it. I am going to love it. I am going to do it in the way that 20 years to come, I want to stand on that stage. I can speak confidently and tell people, I am a work in progress, but despite all of the challenges, I got here. And I am
how
still
far I've come.
See how far I've come. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, you know, I was just before we got on, I was connected to Majestic Manifesto by DDK for the Gen Zs. Amazing conference going on right now in Lagos. And the keynote speaker, one of the keynote speaker was FD, TFD, Tara. And you know, she was talking about, you know, how when she started back then, how many years ago, over 2 decades ago, when she started with the makeup thing. Makeup was not a thing that year now, you know. And people will be wondering that, you know, what is this? And you know, she was just sharing how the person that even inspired her to go that route on how to build the model that she eventually used was somebody that wasn't in their own time as popular, that people will feel like, oh, my mentor can only be somebody that is popular, somebody that people know, you know, just somebody that had your interest at heart and was able to say, this is what I see and this is what I think could work, and you just going with it. And I just love, you know, how that has been something that she stayed with, and now other businesses are now using her business as a prototype or as a model to model their own businesses after. And you know, and she has built it in such a beautiful way that now she has succession. You know, she's one of the African businesses that has cracked this code of succession, not 10 years after 10 years after 15. Now she's moved on to the next. Like, okay, hands off, but this company is still going. She's building legacy, and it's beautiful. And it just boils down to what you said about knowing that thing, accepting it early on time, that this is the path that I want to go on, and sticking with it no matter what. No matter what people say, no matter how people castigate you, no matter how life even treats you. You know, nowadays I see a lot of people, like, you know, I'm in circles of where, and I understand, like, life is happening, life is lifing. You know, there are days when, especially like women who are, let's say they're separated, you know, or divorced, and probably single moms, and they're doing life alone. It's a lot with children or with a child or something. There are those days when you're like, you don't want to do anything, you're tired, you just want to be, you know. As much as that is valid, I just feel like, as I don't even know how to say, but I feel like as much as that is valid, don't stay there for too long. Because if you pause and stay and not do anything, it's only a matter of time. It almost be like it didn't exist before. So as much as it is valid that you take a pause, you feel the emotion, you feel the pain. If you have to cry, you cry. You know, if you have to, you know, what's that, binge or something, or just treat yourself, because today now ice cream, no bad day, I just want to lick ice cream. I don't care. Right? But don't stay there. Don't stay there. So, and I know that you've had such days on your journey so far. How are you able to cut short those days to pick yourself back up to say, you know what, Esther, Carrie, well done. I love you, eh? I know you're going through, but let's keep moving. How are you able to go past those very, very heavy seasons to move on your journey?
Wow, that's a big one. Thank you so much. I mean, I was listening to you with intense, active listening skills, because I saw myself in some of the things you just said. But one thing about me is I don't stay long down. and I always use the law of Sarah Jakes, and that is a tunnel vision law. That when you're going through life, when life is lifing you, sometimes you got to go down. You know, when you want to see a tunnel, you bend sometimes so you can see the tunnel.
Right.
That when you are down in that tunnel, you got to look straight ahead to see where the light is. And that is exactly because
And go
you
towards the
have to
light.
go through the tunnel. You have to come out on the other side. And the other side will be where you find light. And when you use that, right, as a compass, I use that as a compass because I heard I said that many years ago, and I use it as a compass. And the way I did it was that I created a balance. I said to myself, I would not allow my lived experiences as a mother come in the way of the things that I want to achieve. Just that even if it's a bit, a tiny bit of activity, something impactful that I can do. And for all the years up until now, I told someone, since I became a single mother, there is no year that I have not done something impactful. As a matter of fact, if I don't mention to people, if I did not announce it, that I was a single mom, nobody would know anything, right? Because
Right.
I just flowed with the flow of my life through that tunnel vision compass to say there is light. You know, it's like you moving in that tunnel. You might not see anything, but you just know, okay, God, I know there is light. God, I know there is light. I'm going ahead to where there is light. And that has been my job. Like you said, there are days you just want to shut it down.
Yeah.
There are days you don't feel like it. And that is why I have also mastered how to create a balance. I am not the aggressive aspire to perspire. And the reason why I'm saying is because I understand what it feels like to be in the dark and nobody is seeing that you're struggling, right? Either the struggle might be a work struggle, it might be you even trying to pull up your company together, it might be parenting. We are so fixated on photos now that people don't ask questions about how people are really doing behind the photos.
Yes,
So,
my sister.
so when I and that's part of the things that I think gives me strength. Just me making sure that I'm a safe space where I can learn from other women who are either ahead of me, who have walked through this journey, and pick those lessons to say, I am going to do right by myself. I am going to be a bragging right for my children. I also have to program their age. And I know by the time my daughter is 18, this and this are what I want her to know and see about me. That is intense. So when I do certain things and someone says, I said, no, you don't have to understand. My children will understand when they grow up.
Right.
You don't have to understand. My children would understand when they grow up, right? Because the journey we're living as parents isn't just for us alone. Life has gone beyond just living anyhow when you have
Right.
children. You got to be intentional. And like you said, don't stay there for too long. You can't stay in the tunnel for too long. You want to blind yourself when there is no light? No. So I always give myself the tunnel vision grace. So anytime I don't feel like it, I'm like, okay, Sarah Jake said it. Tunnel vision moment. I want to slam the brakes. I want to focus on other things, but I don't stay. And I have never been the one that will let pain make me stay down for too long. Now, I'm not that person. I have mastered how to make sure that pain takes the back seat when I want to work in my purpose. So yes, you might see me not so like it. Other days, I might not just be the person you want me to be, but every day I wake up and I play my part
What
in the world.
was your purpose? Love it.
I
I
play my
love it.
part in the world. And I hope that this message will resonate with someone out there. Yeah, someone is saying it's not easy. Yeah, I know it's not easy, but please take something from what I just said, the tunnel vision. If you are in
Right.
the tunnel, you don't want to stay there for too long because there is no light. There is no light, and nobody's coming to save you.
Yeah. And
Everybody,
that's the thing. That's the thing. I love this thing you just said now, because
nobody's coming to
looking at
save
it,
you.
if you envision the dark tunnel, right?
Mm,
It's like we are all going through it at some point. Oh.
mhm.
So even if you are going through it with somebody else, it is dark.
Yeah.
So they can't see you. So
Yeah.
the only way you people can help each other is to find your way. If you have to crawl,
Yeah.
if you have to drag yourselves towards
Yes.
that light, when you not see
Yes.
each other, you cannot say, see your
Mm-hmm.
head is bent, oh, let me help you adjust it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you are now in the light. And that's
Mm-hmm.
the whole point of just keep moving. I love
Mm-hmm.
it. A
Mm-hmm.
question is coming in from Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Rosalind Idam is asking, he said, Ma'am, how have you been able to manage leadership as a
Mm-hmm.
woman?
Girl, I love that question. And every time we say things as a woman, there's always that gender disparity thing. Have you been able? Yeah, but let me answer that way. I yeah, because you know that sometimes men don't get asked some of those questions.
That's
You would
true, Sha.
you hardly hear as a man, how have you been? It is always, sir, how are it's not pointed at something, but I love the fact that we can always be in our feminine energy. So thank you so much, Rosalind. I would say to you, one thing that I've done is to stand 10 toes on what I believe in. Yes. I don't know if you joined at the beginning. One of the things that I said is I am not a person that you can redirect out of a vision. I know my purpose. When you are self-aware as a leader, it is hard for people to talk you out of your vision and your belief system. Now, you can change, you can tweak if things are not going right. You can learn on your journey. But as a leader, you got to have a mind of your own. A mind where people come to you and say you're not doing enough. You want to sit down and calculate all of the things that you've brought to the table. Oh, I've got skill set. I'm ambitious. Oh, I have built a brand. Women of Rubies. Oh, wow. We have over 200,000 women on Facebook. Do you see? Sometimes you've got to call yourself back into your purpose and start counting your blessings. When you master that as a leader, listen, nobody would have the audacity to try and talk you down, talk you out of your vision, or make you feel that you're not strong enough to be a leader. Because sometimes what the mistake a lot of us make is that we don't know how to separate our personal journey in life to the position that we hold in the world as leaders. And people sometimes want to use that against you. And because women go through it a lot, men don't go through pregnancy, they don't go through childbirth, they don't go through hormonal imbalance. We had to deal with all of that. So, and they don't care. But when you are self-aware, right, you make sure that the part of you that represents your social status, whatever you have, a mother in a family unit home, a single woman, a single mom, it does not overshadow your leadership skill set. So that is the way I've done it. Just staying 10 toes on my
What you
values
believe.
and what I believe. And that is what has helped me for years.
I love it. Love it. Beautiful answer. Beautiful answer. And for just to add a little bit to what Esther just shared, Rosalind, is you might be asking, okay, how do I even know what I believe in? See, nobody has lived before. If you embrace that truth, you will do what you need to do. Nobody has lived before. So
Nobody.
that nobody has lived before and now come back and say, I've lived before now. So let me tell you how it works.
Yep.
Everybody you see today that is
That's
even
swinging
ahead is because they just they had the thoughts, they
it.
felt really, and they did it. Now they did it with the intention that if you work, you work. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And when it
Yeah.
worked, you that you're being like, okay, it work, okay. Now we are following. In the same way, if you are a lead, I believe that some leaders are born and some are made.
Yes.
If you are born, you will know it. Because you will find yourself in, if you take stock of your life, you will just find that, honestly, like I'm on a journey now. I'm a coach, right? And so even in my coaching, in helping other people, I'm still continuing the journey as well as a person. And so some of the resources that we use for our coaching clients, we use on ourselves as well.
Yep.
So there are some personality tests that you will do that will help you open your eyes to yourself.
Yep.
And you'll be like,
Yep.
okay, there are things that I thought were weaknesses. That some personality tests now say, this is your superpower.
Yeah.
It changes your stand.
Yes.
And so when people are saying you are too much, you're like, no, it's you that cannot handle me. I'm not too much. I'm exactly in the proportion that God created me. If you cannot handle me, get away. I think you're not supposed to be here.
Or wear
That's one thing
shades.
that changed the game for me, Esther, in 2020. When I
Yeah.
realized that this my energy. It's not just for fanfare. They've
Yeah.
called it everything. Abebelube, your own is too much. But when I realized that,
Mhm.
this is what makes me me.
Yeah.
This is what makes me when I enter a room, people are like, who
Mhm.
be that girl?
Mhm.
That's my energy. And the moment
Yep.
I named it what it was, it
Yep.
switched. So that anytime I enter a room now, without even me introducing myself, people will be saying, I love your energy. I'm like, you don't, that's why I'm called energetic EJ, right? It begins with you, you know it. God
Yep.
created you completely, and he gave you instinct, guts to be
Mhm.
able to know what is yours. So what
Yeah.
Esther is saying in essence is that thing that you
Mm.
know. Maybe you're
Mhm.
not just listening, or you
Mm.
are saying because it's not big enough, or it's not looking like somebody else's
Mhm.
own.
Mhm.
No, go back, sit down with yourself and say, what is that thing?
Mhm.
Whatever age you are, as long as you are over 18, you would have
Yep.
had lived experiences that is pointing you to that
Yep.
root of your belief system.
Mm.
Embrace it. And Esther is saying, 10 toes, stand on it. I am unshakable. I am unmovable. In the person that I am unmovable. In the way that
Yes.
I show it, we can adjust and
Yep.
say, okay, no,
Yep.
now you
Yep.
have energy. It doesn't mean that every room you enter, you be doing one. No, you know when to bring out the
Yep.
energy and when to pedal it down,
And you know
right?
what
So, yeah.
again? Even the imperfection, right? Inspire people.
Hmm.
That the problem is we want people to come fully baked. The half baked side of you would inspire certain people. Believe me,
Right.
I have written things online before and I would feel like, oh, okay, this is not going to inspire nobody. Like maybe nobody. And I will have people come to me to say, you just spoke to something about me. Now, imagine if I held back and I didn't want to share that. It could be a vulnerable moment and you're scared. And that's the thing with leadership as well. Everybody wants you to come in a prepared, don't make mistake with aesthetics way. No, when it is organic, it's more beautiful. Honestly, when it is
Absolutely.
organic, when people can
Absolutely.
see that you're not trying so hard to just play a role, play a part, play a
Hmm.
script online,
Hmm.
be seen as something. If it's spontaneous, it's your
Yeah.
gift. You know, I've seen you in action and it's a gift. And like you said, parents should please, when your children, I keep saying this, when you have talented and gifted children, don't joke with them.
Hmm.
Don't let the world raise them for you.
Or label them.
Yes, or label them. I have written this before, and I think I'm going to write it again. It is so important that you don't let people talk down on the things that make your children unique. If your child talks too much, listen, better find a skill for them. Maybe they want to
Yeah.
come to EJ, how to go on a podcast as young
Frame it
children.
right. Absolutely.
Help them. But the moment you start allowing that neighbor say, "Oh, please, please caution your child,"
Talkative.
ah,
Ah.
you are also contributing, right, to somebody taking from the gifts that your
Hmm.
children could offer the world in the future.
Hmm.
Because those silent voices, the things they hear, it makes them who they are. And then when they hear
Yeah.
it consistently and the parent is not doing anything, it
It
becomes a
is.
part of them. And then
Yeah.
you leave, and that is why I mean by don't let the world raise your children for you. Because a child or children who are not validated at home, children whose gifts are not validated at home, they would seek validation outside,
Outside.
right?
Right.
Is the reason why somebody can sleep and wake up on TikTok because they just want to be talking on TikTok, right?
Right.
Yeah, because to
They don't have
them,
the outlets.
there's no outlet. And some the outlet is only from sources who judge them. It's only from
Hmm.
make them see their fault. Oh, you're a single mom. Oh, this you failed. Oh, your marriage failed. So what kind of advice I want to give somebody that the marriage has failed?
That hey
Eh?
God, I beg you.
You literally, and we do it in the world. And that's honestly just to answer Rosalind's question. I don't know. I that's one of the things I didn't allow nobody do to me as well. No, if you're going to leave my talent and my skill set and all of my contributions to the world and
And
pick my
focus on my personal.
yeah. Okay, then you shouldn't have a seat at my table. You shouldn't even have a seat anywhere, because it means that you're not human enough to accommodate people. We're all here right now. We're raising children. We don't even know what their future holds. That is the gospel truth. The same way our parents did not know we're going to turn out this way. They were just
Honestly,
doing their best to give us the best.
best that they
And
could give.
whatever we turned out to be, honestly, we cannot even blame our parents, because the parents from 20 years ago, and I'm going to be fair to all of them, they didn't know any better.
They didn't know.
They didn't know any better. Their parents didn't know what mental health was. I mean, I'm speaking to those who were raised in Nigeria, like myself, right? A lot of our Nigerian parents didn't know about trauma.
Right.
They didn't know about communication
and they were
skills.
wading through it the only way they knew how to.
And they were also dealing with their own trauma, because when you have to wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning, you stay in the traffic for like 1 hour to get to your place of work. You are working for somebody. You come back home, it's 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. You are also tired. So the only way for some of them to communicate at the time was to shout, to scream, because they can't do it at work. So it is they can't do it at work. So they bring it back home. And that is me also. That's part of the self-awareness that I'm also coming into, to say, okay, you want to sit down and blame people all you want? Yeah, keep blaming them. The truth is, how did you manage the things that are invested in you, like education? Okay, they didn't do this. How did you manage the other things that they did right?
Right.
So see, the world is coming to a place where we need to always put empathy first.
And humanity first. Absolutely.
And humanity first. You got to sit before you judge people. Like, okay, what would I have done if I was raised in the 60s? If I was raised in the 50s? If I was born in the 40s? Would I have done any better? With no internet? Because these days, the things they are reading now is because of the internet. Most of them still don't believe in. I mean, I remember I was talking to an elderly auntie the other day, and I was saying, maybe the person has the mental health challenges they should become with the person. She was complaining about a domestic stuff, and then she goes, "What is mental health?" She didn't know there's mental health when she was eating. And you can imagine, and she didn't mean any harm. Like, so I had to now send details, just sort of like copy some things, send it to her, tell her, okay, listen,
to give her some level of awareness.
To give her that level of awareness, and that goes to show that for every stage of leadership you get to, you've got to evolve as well. You've got to move with the trend. You've got to flow with the flow, but don't do it in a way that would make you judge other people for you to get to your destination.
Right.
Your journey is your journey. Your success story is your success story. Please, as women, let's not taint, dent, defame, label other women while we're trying to climb our ladder of success. Because those same people are people's parents. They are people's children. Right? So everything in life is a full circle. Every time you do something to one person, you're doing it to a whole family too. You're hurting those who raise them. You're hurting the people they are raising. And it becomes a cycle. So what we push to people online sometimes, all those negativity, the friends who want to make you feel you're not doing enough, and instead of bringing solution to the things they feel you're not. And I tell people now, instead of I don't go and tell someone that thing you're doing is bad. It is really bad. No, it's not good. I would rather look for the solution and say hi
before you tender it.
I saw what you posted. I have done this before, and I love, and that's another thing, communication skills. I love what you're doing. Can you
honestly,
yeah, because we always make people feel like they are hard. People are not really hard. How are you approaching people? A person who has a level of trauma, a person who has been judged all their life, they would have walls.
They're very defensive. Yes.
They would have walls built up, because the moment you're coming, they're like, okay, I've heard this before. I've
heard this before.
But if you approach it with kindness, like, yo, you're doing so well. I am so proud of you. Thank you for all of the good work you're doing. I see what you've done. I see these other things you're doing. I want to support. That's a way. I want to contribute to the things you're doing. How can I help you?
Right.
You've changed the conversation.
So absolutely.
If you want to help leaders, we can help leaders to be better by also coming to them and approaching them with solutions, not judging their journey, not judging their how, not judging their why. Because if we switch that table, honestly, you might not be able to walk 1 inch
Path that they are on.
in those
Absolutely.
shoes. In those shoes, yeah.
Wow, amazing. I love it. I love it. I love this. Even the communication part you just bursted the conversation. It's like we really need to, because that's one way to help people
Yeah,
through things.
yeah.
Don't just point out people's
Mhm.
mistakes. Just
Yeah,
point that and leave it hanging. So what should they do
yeah,
with that? They go and hang
yeah.
themselves?
And
No,
it's you're gonna hurt people by doing that.
exactly.
There's something I always talk about my uncles, and they're all late now. And every time I mention someone say, "This your uncles," I'm like, because they made me feel seen.
Hmm.
They, they just like my mom correct knew how to correct me with love. So if they see something and they're like, "Oh, she should do better," they're not coming to me to say, they're not using the why statement as a conversation starter. They are using
Right.
the how.
What or how?
Okay, Esther, how can I saw this thing. I think you can do better. So how can I support you? Let me know
Hmm.
what you need. Now, there is nobody under the sun that would hear those sort of words, and you would not immediately want to open up to that person to say, "Oh, yeah, these are some of the challenges that I'm having to deal with at this time. This is what you can help me with." So we got to understand that leaders are humans, they're not robots, too.
Mm,
And
yeah.
just because we're out here and Esther is doing the Aspire Perspire right now, she's human too. So at the
She
end of the
cried
day,
tears too, okay? And she bleed blood.
not clothes they cover everybody, like they say in Nigeria, right? So we all have moments, we all have things that we deal with as leaders. It's just the way we choose to manage them, that make us who we are. Yeah.
Absolutely. Wow. I mean, this has been fantastic. It didn't go exactly the way I planned it to, but it went as it should be,
Hmm.
because it tells your story from the human angle, not just from the professional angle. And
Yeah.
in one way or the other, you've been able to infuse the professional side of things into the way you answer the question, which is just beautiful, right? And we just love, 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 love it. We love it, love it. So as we're getting ready to wrap up, if you have any questions, you're watching on Instagram, on YouTube,
Hmm.
or on Facebook, please type
Hmm.
out your questions so that we can answer them for you, all right? And I can ask them. Also, if you're on Facebook, for example, if you look into the comment section, the team has shared how you can follow more of the works that Esther does through the Women of Rubies. So you can join, you can follow on the website and read, stories of other women to get inspired. You can also follow on LinkedIn if you're on LinkedIn. You can also join the community. And I love what we do in the community, the Women of Rubies Collective, where this check-in we talk about every now and then. There's check-in in the group to say, how are you really doing? And it's beautiful to see that people are able to just open up to say, you know what, right now I just need a hug. And even though we're not there physically to hug people, just having words sent to them to say, I'm praying for you, I'm hugging you, it's relieving sometimes, right? So you can also be a part of the community in that way. All right. And also, so Esther, quickly,
Hmm.
would
Hmm.
you just give us a little bit of, for somebody who is watching this for the very first time, and maybe they are getting to meet you for the first time, like, who is this lady, where has she been all my life? What would you have to say about Women of Rubies,
Hmm.
why you set it up, and what impact the Women of Rubies is making for women?
Yeah, thank you very much. So, the Women of Rubies was born out of my passion for humanity, my deep desire, to spotlight everyday women doing extraordinary things, women like EJ, who are making a difference in the world, women who are making impact in their communities, but weren't getting the recognition they deserve. And
Mm,
what sort of like stemmed the nudge to start the Women of Rubies platform. Women who are not well represented in the media. I wanted to make sure that every woman who was adding value to society had a voice,
mm,
could really be seen online. Because when you go online right now, the statistics of men, the way men push themselves is quite different from the way we push ourselves, right? And the only way we can change the narrative was, for me to also create something that a lot of women can benefit from. So Over the journey has also evolved from simply telling, these inspiring stories to creating a global community of women, who support, we uplift, and we collaborate with one another, like myself and EJ, right?
Yep,
And
yep,
we make sure that there is a platform where every woman has a seat at the table. Important when you can create something that gives women a voice, when they can feel seen. And that's, the whole vision of the Women of Rubies platform, to make sure that women are seen, women are heard, and they have a safe space where they can collaborate.
Right. I love it. Love, love, love it. So if somebody is now watching and saying, anyways, if you're watching, I already made announcements. We want to be a part of the community because there's a community for this, which is a global
Yes,
community. Check us
yes,
out on Facebook and
yeah,
just join the community so that you can be a part of what we're doing here. And there
yeah,
always one every now and then there are always opportunities to say, oh, this is happening, or oh, somebody is doing this, somebody is doing that. Let's support and all
mhm,
of that. And you
mhm,
or your business or your idea could be the next initiative that we are supporting. So if you want to
mhm,
be a part of that, let us know. Now you talk a lot about visibility, and
mhm.
it's like the core of what you do, even
Yeah,
with the Women of Rubies, which is just to help more women be visible, right?
yeah,
So you talk about that a lot, media visibility, and you say the way you coin it is media visibility with purpose, right?
mhm,
What does that mean for an everyday woman? You just mentioned now that Women of Rubies is to spotlight everyday women. What's your definition of everyday women, and why is it important that they have that media visibility?
yeah. When we say everyday, women, it's because we want to make sure that no woman is left out.
Hmm.
When I say no woman is left out, we don't want to put like an embargo on the women who can reach out to us,
Oh,
because we
fantastic.
believe that every woman, like I said earlier on, deserves to be heard.
Hmm.
Everyone deserves to be seen. So either you're a professional in that office doing your 9 to 5, either you are an innovator, a leader, or just someone in the community who is adding value, you are a woman. So when we say the
Hmm.
everyday woman, we mean every woman who is adding value, right? Yes, the demographic could differ in terms of those who now have access to technology, but
Hmm.
even at that, we've had to spotlight those who don't have access to technology, because
Right.
we recognize that even with technology, there are people who want to learn from those who look like them
Hmm.
outside of the spotlight. So yeah, for that context, that's what everyday woman means. And then for media visibility, it's so passionate to me. I love it. I mean, that should be like a keyword that comes with my name, actually. And
Right. I think it's
visibility,
about time.
I know I should probably have something like Esther media visibility because the way I use that keyword. Yeah. So media visibility, it comes with you being intentional, right? And using your platform not just to be seen or to be heard, but in a way that drives impact, right? So people often
Hmm.
see visibility as, oh, I just want people to see me. No, it's not just about people seeing you. Your name, the
Hmm.
things you do, it has to drive impact. And that impact will be measured with your digital footprint. And your digital footprint itself is your social currency, right? And your social
Hmm.
currency is your passport to relevance. You see the
Hmm.
tiers, what I broke down, right? Your social currency is your passport to relevance. So the higher your currency is, the more relevant you become in the world. And
Right.
the only way you can become relevant is if you're intentional about your visibility.
Visibility. Hmm.
If you are intentional about, oh, you just don't want to be seen on Facebook and Instagram, but you want to make sure that your work is properly archived in the media. You want to make sure that a day might come, you would go viral and you're not prepared for it. And someone is asking for your bio, for example, someone wants to quickly Google you. That's the importance of media visibility. Preparing
Hmm.
ahead and making sure that your impact is felt across the board. Making sure that people don't necessarily have to come to your Instagram and your Facebook and your socials
To
before they
know
can know who you
about you.
are on Google. So, and that's something that I've been, advocating for, and I'm really, really passionate about it, just to make sure that women are seen, and that the things you post, the way you present yourself, your appearance, and everything in between, it aligns with your core values. So
Hmm.
visibility is powerful, right? But
Right.
when it comes to purposeful visibility, my sister, is transformational.
I love it.
It would always give you a seat at a table.
Hmm.
Visibility would always, please take this today, give you a seat at a
At the
table. So
table.
the next time someone says you're doing too much, remember that your socials, the things you post, is like a marketplace.
Hmm.
Different customers come every day. Some come to window shop. They necessarily don't want to buy from you. Some come because they just want to see who you are out of curiosity. You've got to make sure that everything aligns with the way you want to be seen. You've got to make sure that
Right.
your social currency would help your relevance 10, 15 years from now. When your name is Googled, people can see in real time who you are and the work
What
that
you've
you've done.
done and your
Yeah.
work. I
Yep.
love it. I love it. I love it. I think this is something that every woman should, aspire to get to. And it's not even about being in the limelight, like just
Mm-hmm.
dead that idea. It's not about being popular. It's not
Mm-mm.
about being on the stage. It's not about being a celebrity. It's
Mm-hmm.
about being purposeful and being intentional. That my
Yeah.
footprint, though, they will know that I want to leave this world having
Mm-hmm.
some references to my
Mm-hmm.
name,
Yeah.
right?
I like the way you put
And
that.
you know, again, it's honestly, I think anybody who has grasped the idea of purpose
Mm-hmm.
and knowing that you are a part of a bigger puzzle that
Mm-hmm.
makes the world works,
Yep.
you will know that you are important.
Yes.
And you will know that there is one person out there who will only understand some concepts, some
Mm-hmm.
ideas,
Mm-hmm.
some messages if
Mm-hmm.
you speak it
Yep.
because they can relate with you. And
Yes.
that's where the heart of this purposeful visibility is. It's not
Yes.
about going viral. It's not
Mm-mm.
about being popular. It's not
Mm-mm.
about being known. It's about being that, see, I am a part of a puzzle that God
Yes.
has placed here on earth. And I know that I have a role to play.
Yep.
I'm playing the role, but I'm not playing it in the dark. So that
Mm-hmm.
whoever needs to benefit from that role can
Mm-hmm.
find it and run with it.
Yeah.
Now,
Correct.
most times, most often than not, it
Mm-hmm.
will lead to this relevance, celebrity,
Mm-hmm.
status,
Mm-hmm.
virality, and all of
Mm-hmm.
that. But that is not the goal. Your
Mm-mm.
aim, your purpose from the beginning is to
Mm-hmm.
say, this is the part that I play in the world. This
Yes.
is how I am adding value to the world.
Yes.
And I know there is one person out there who
Mm-hmm.
needs this value. And that's one
Yes.
person who I'm showing up for. But it's just beautiful that in the
And that's
whole world, we are over 7 billion. So there's that one person multiplied times at least 100,000 somewhere
yep.
that will not say, this person, I love how they do things and I want to
Yep.
be, and I'm inspired by them. So in
Mm-hmm.
case, and I say all of that to speak to people who are still having battles in their head. For the
Mm-hmm.
longest time, I was in that place where it was almost like it's vanity. It's vanity. Oh, you want to be
Visibility
a, you want
is
to
not
be there. It's like,
vanity
it's
is not
vanity now. I
vanity.
want to be seen. You want to, some kind of funny adages that we grew up with now. You want to open yourself up to the world.
Mm.
Ojuaye,
Mm.
they will
Mm.
see you. They will,
Mm.
calm down, calm
Mm.
down. Especially
Mm.
if the layer on top is if you are now somebody of faith. Come on,
Yep.
the person that
Yep.
sent you here. They say the same Yoruba people say that you are not afraid of the person that they send you to. You are more afraid
Afraid
of
of
the person that sent you message. So if that's
yep.
the case, the God that created you and put you here, that's the person you're going to give account to, not the people that he sent you to. So your
Mm-hmm.
job is to, and if he has sent you, it means he has provided, he has made provision for
For
you,
you. Yep.
So anyways, all we are saying is when you think visibility, don't think virality, don't
Yep.
think vanity, but think
Mm-hmm.
purposeful visibility, knowing
Visibility.
that you're a part of a bigger puzzle and you're here to play your part and
Yeah.
let the world do the rest. And I just love, 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 love it. Thank you so much.
Thank
When is the next visibility boot camp coming? Because I know
soon and very soon.
very soon.
Soon and very soon.
Keep an
Yeah.
eye out.
And that also comes with, also sometimes taking a break. Success is not you just going all the way
Going,
all the time.
going, going,
Sometimes
going.
you got to sit back, you've got to prepare again, go back to the drawing board, press the reset button. I love doing that a lot. I used to be afraid to do that, but now I realize that
Mm,
nobody is chasing you.
Abi,
Nobody's chasing you. Don't put Michelin tires on your leg
on
because
your
you want to
neck.
be like other people. You are who you are for a reason. So hold on
Right.
to the person that you are. So yeah, that is coming up, very soon. And let me just quickly touch on something you said about popularity, because a lot of people always mix that. Listen, popularity will get you to the door, but your relevance will keep you inside. Please be mindful of
Mm,
that. Navigate through
mm,
life. So if you want to do fast popularity, it is easy. Call out somebody today, you are popular. However, what keeps you relevant, what keeps you inside the door of relevance is those are the things you do on a daily. Your consistent,
mm.
the messaging, how you show up, how you network, the people you impact. So when you put, it's like you cooking a meal and you want the meal to be tasty. You got to put
Right.
all the spices in that meal, and
Mm,
when you put it in there, right, it's easy for you to taste and like, oh, it's sweet. The next time you want to think about your brand, think about how you prepare a meal, and you want it to be
mm.
so you got to be a tasty meal to the world. And the way you can do that is to be relevant. Be so relevant that you have a gift that cannot be ignored, like Oprah Winfrey always says. Like you have a gift and people can't even ignore what comes with your gift, right? So
Mm.
I just wanted to put that out there, for all my queens, so that if you're also having imposter syndrome, like all
They
these
shut it
things
down.
they say, all these things they've said today now, but I'm no, brace yourself up, put yourself out there.
I love it. I love it. As we wrap up, please, what advice would you give to any woman who is like, okay, 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 Esther, EJ, I've heard you people. I am ready. I know I have a voice. I want to use it, but I don't even know where to start. What would you
Mm.
tell them? How should they start? What can you give to them to run with from this conversation?
That's where you are with what you have. Now, what do you have? You have a phone, you have data.
Mm,
Use that, put yourself out there. But above all, you have a life, and that life doesn't have duplicates. And you got to be conscious of one thing, that every day you live is getting closer to the next age.
mm,
So make the most of the 10 years gap. For every milestone of it, we have 10 years. So make the most of the season you are in right now to say, what do I have? I've got a phone. Let me start with socials. I'm going to tag EJ. I'm going to DM EJ or Esther to say, please, can you like my post? Can you comment? I want to reach out and look for a mentor. Start where you are with what you have.
with what you
Because
have.
oftentimes, what is holding us back is not because we don't know what to do. It is because we want people to validate what we want to do.
So true. So true.
Yeah, we want people to validate us before we do what we're supposed to do. But if you
Mm.
let that validation take the back seat, make the mistake, make it
And learn.
and learn from it. Go back to the drawing board, and we're all out here. We're going to cheer you on
Woo.
because you heard my story today. It was not all rosy. I've shared the mistake, I've shared the failure, and that is what makes me who I am,
Absolutely.
right?
Love
And
it.
it's exactly what you need to chase. Don't just chase you being successful alone. Make sure that your story is relatable. But if you are waiting for a packet story, you
Perfect.
want to wait to have 10,000 followers before you can post, you want to wait for your. Listen, nobody's coming to save you. Remember the tunnel vision I mentioned earlier on?
You have to walk
Nobody's in the
towards the
tunnel
light.
with you. It is just you and yourself, and you've got to find the light by
Right.
yourself. Find the
Love
light
it.
by yourself. And if the
Love it.
light is on your phone, use your phone. If the light is for you to open that Facebook and YouTube page today, do it. If the light is for you to look for a mentor, after this
Do it.
conversation, whoever is going to watch later, please reach out to somebody, right? And don't be scared to even reach out to me as well. I'll be glad.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love that you say that because I just, as you were saying it, I remember. So I'm running a challenge,
Mhm,
and I think I'll continue because I currently am on in April, and we're
mhm,
running another one in May, and some
mhm,
people are already waiting. Like, please do it again in June because that's when I'll have time. So I'm
mhm,
looking at doing that. But essentially, one of the participants, I am so proud of him because I would even like to. I told him, like I mentioned. In fact, I wrote it on one of his posts on TikTok, and I
mhm,
did that intentionally so that I believe that if he continues, it's
mhm.
just a matter of time. He can
Yep.
come back to that post and say, "Ah, see what I did here. See what this woman said. See where I am now, and I'm looking back and I'm proud of myself." Is
Yep.
that if you watch his content now, he's looking like "Ah, atalagbalagba, yi kile n se, kini
Mhm,
but that ain't
mhm,
shit concept."
mhm,
But
mhm.
for me, I am so impressed
Mm-hmm.
because it takes courage for
Yeah.
an adult
Yeah.
to put out content that they're not comfortable. Like Esther,
Mm-hmm.
people are literally shaking to be in front of the camera. I'm not
Yeah.
even lying.
Yeah.
People cannot stand their
Even the
own
best of
voices.
us, this, even the best of us. I tell people that I preach media visibility just so we all have struggles, right? And I'm
Aye.
very good with the camera, but sometimes it's just that thing because you're like, okay, my gift is actually to write. My gift is
Hmm.
actually to do this, and you've got to be comfortable in what you're comfortable with. That's another thing. So
You know,
people say I should be dancing. I'm like, I cannot dance on Instagram. I have said it. I cannot dance on Instagram. I am not dancing nothing to sell nothing. I
no,
am
you do
not
your thing.
dancing.
You do you.
I'm not dancing anything. The grace on me is not to dance.
Hmm.
The vision,
Absolutely.
it is not to dance. That I'm
Hmm.
trying to attract an audience that God does not want. No. If you cannot see me in my fullness through the things that I post,
Then
then
you're
you
not
will not
mine.
be me. Then you're not for
Hmm.
me. So
Hmm.
that's another thing I
Hmm.
want to put to you. Because when you start out, people are going to tell you to try out this. Listen, do what you can. Do what you can. I cannot dance. Don't do anything. People do it. No, I don't. I'm not talking about vendors now. No, I respect them. They need to dance to show us their products. That's fine. But I'm talking about those of us who render services, right?
Hmm.
And you always want us to come online and dance. Oh, I'm a podcaster. Oh, I'm a media personality. Yes.
I mean, if dancing works for you, go ahead. For me, I am a natural dancer. Like I can't even. One of the fun facts about me is I cannot stay still if a good music is playing.
I
Eh,
mean,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
different.
eh,
But if you
yeah,
now have
yeah.
to be on your camera every day to be saying I'm a podcaster, click in the bio.
Ah,
Yes.
wahala. People are
My
doing
course.
that.
This had to
Oh
be
my
fun
god.
now. We can't make it too serious, but
Yeah,
anyway.
absolutely.
And special
Mm.
shout out to all my amazing vendors. I see all of you, or some of you follow me. I love it when you dance. We love those contents. It is not just who I am, but I love it. In fact, I buy more from people that dance. Funny enough, I have gone on
Mm.
sometimes I tell people I do window shopping, buying sometimes online. I just see someone dancing and I see them putting up one clothes. This clothes is fine, even what I'm wearing right now. The person I saw someone dancing on their page. I said this thing I buy looks good though. It's fine. So I just want to correct. I don't want to discourage anyone or misconstrue, but it's not
Yeah,
just who I am. And I want to believe there
right.
are people who don't have that purpose and the grace to do that. Because
To do
sometimes
that.
there are things that come with grace. Please know this and know peace.
Know your grace so that you can stay in your race and in your place.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am.
Understand your own grace. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much, Esther. It's been such a pleasure. I'm just,
Thank you.
sharing, with like you say, no bar kind of sharing and just getting to know, some of the back end things that it's almost like the thoughts, the things that go
Yeah.
through your mind and
Yeah.
the values that you carry
Yes.
as a person, which are some
Yeah.
of the things that has, helped you to get up
Mhm.
to this point that you are today. So
Absolutely.
I really hope that, for everyone who has joined us on the show today, who has listened and has gotten something, please do well. You can also share some of the thoughts that has dropped
Mhm.
for you from this session. Share
Yeah.
it. That's another way that you can do things, right? While you are building yourself up to start creating content sometimes to go on, sometimes you can start from curating. All right, so there's a difference between the two. You can
Mhm.
create or you can curate. So while
Yeah.
you're still warming yourself up to create, you can start with curation, which means
Right.
you're now sourcing for amazing stuff, that like messages that reach, that touches your heart, or that are valuable to you, and then adding your own small touch to it. So for
Yes.
example, you can reshare today's post or this poster for today and say, oh, I was a part of this show today, and this, and this are what Lady Esther and Lady EJ shared, and it was
Mhm.
just a beautiful thing. Now, that is something. In the way that you're going to share it, you have also portrayed your thoughts in putting
Mhm.
that together, and that's somewhere
Yeah.
to start as well. So sometimes
Absolutely.
we weigh ourselves down by, oh my god, where am I going to start from now? What would I say? I'm not even a writer, I'm not a good writer. Don't worry, you can leverage somebody else's writing and just
Mhm.
share your opinion on that, and be clear that it's an opinion, it's not a law. They're just saying your opinion based on your knowledge now. Okay, so If you want, please share that, tag us on Instagram or on
Mhm,
Facebook, or
mhm,
yeah, Instagram or Facebook, tag us to say this and this are what you learned from this
mhm.
conversation, and we'll be able to reshare as well and connect with you like that. All right. Thank you so much. Until we come again with another episode on her success story, powered by Women of Rubies. This is the energetic EJ saying thank you so much. Remember, there's
Jenny,
something Esther said. You have a voice, okay? And your visibility was like, oh,
visibility is not vanity.
yes, visibility is not vanity. And yes, there's something you also said about relevance. I think somebody typed it here.
Okay,
Yes,
you
your
know some.
social currency is your
Yeah,
passport to relevance. All right. So you
yes,
have to be intentional. Remember
yeah,
that, and feel free to share that line, and tag Esther on it, right? Like quote her
yeah.
to say your social currency is your passport to relevance. All right.
Relevance. Yes,
Thank you so much, Esther. God bless you,
thank
and
you. Thank
keep
you for
doing the
having me.
amazing work that you're
Thank
doing.
you.
Keep inspiring us and keep
Thank
shining the
you.
light on other women to
Thank
give
you
us
so
more
much.
visibility. God bless
Thank
you.
you. Amen. Thank you.
Awesome. Yes. All right, guys. Still coming your way again next episode. Take care of yourself and God bless you. Bye bye.